Namaste and welcome everyone. This is RoshaniShenazz and you are on our 21st episode of Wellbeing Wisdom series. This is the last day for season 1 where you have met and seen and heard some of the awesomest souls of my life sharing their lives, learnings and wisdom with all of you. So we have one more such dearest friend with me today, a lovely, beautiful soul who has been a columnist and is a best selling author. Please shower your hearts, your blessings, your love to welcome dearest Shunali Khullar Shroff with us today for this very special episode. Shunali, thank you so much for being with us.
Hey Roshni, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, especially because of you and I have a connection, but also because nobody's ever called me wise officially.
That's a good one to start with. I feel, the knowledge kind of a thing, which I sometime back, this beautiful quote came, that we share with everyone, and that is knowledge. When we have heard something, when we have, seen something, and we often share that with people. But wisdom is when we have shared what we have lived from the knowledge. And I think you, gorgeous soul, have been some people who I have felt a great bond and connection with. And I have seen you living your life in a certain way, whether it is with your children, whether it is with your own self, your professions. So I'm sure that today, too, all of our wonderful audience out there on Facebook and YouTube will take away some wisdom from a leaf and a straw of your life that they can implement to transform theirs as well. So thank you so much for being there. So everyone, please be interactive, leave some comments, leave your insights, ask any questions that you want to for our Soulful Saturday with Shunali. So let's dive in straight into the session and ask Shunali the first thing that I want to know from you. Our world is right now, extremely pressured and clamping with so many things at hand. Whether it is by large the government, our country as a whole, or we as individuals as well. How do you feel we can bring in a little lightness and soulfulness to face adversities in our life?
So, I can just speak for myself in terms of what I have been doing. And, yes, I mean, it doesn't call to be repeated, the fact that we all know these are unprecedented times. And I think definitely all of us who can attend Zoom calls and sit in the air-conditioned comforts of our home are far too privileged to, when we look outside of what's happening and outside of our homes, where be it the migrant crisis, be it an acute shortage of food in a lot of the slum areas of even just our city. So I think that when we went through the first phase of the lockdown, it felt like some sort of a holiday, a brief vacation. You thought, we'll get past it. In the second phase, we were lamenting that, oh my God, the lockdown, I miss my normal life. But it's only now that in the past 1 month that the reality of so many people's lives has hit us in such a big way. So the first thing that I say this to my children as well, that really let's not complain because we have too much to be thankful for. And, my husband's overseas, he's stuck overseas. So I also obviously have to sort of now be this person who can lead by example my two children, right, entirely on my own. So I think that we have so much negative news. You may call it factual, but it's still negative. That's coming at us from all directions. Twitter, all the online newspapers, print media, television, most definitely. That I think that we are helpless beyond a certain point. There's only these many charities that we can give to. And, beyond feeding our liftman, our watchman, and those kind of people and paying daily, people who were the part-time staff who've been, on sort of a break right now, making sure that they get paid. There isn't so much that we can do right now. What I feel we can do is to keep our inner equilibrium. So the way I'm reducing it is by, Buddha used to say, don't stir the sand. So I am trying to keep myself away from a lot of negative talk, fearful, paranoid conversations, and I'm not really watching the news too much at all. For weeks and weeks at end, we don't tune into our television. And I'm trying to just basically keep it light at home by meditating, praying, exercising, and watching and reading a lot of fun stuff, comedies and, those things.
Great, great. That is so beautiful. And it is important to, I think, be surrounded with these kind of, elements in our life, because unless and until we learn how to take our adversities, which are serious, but in a lighter way, we will completely get bogged down and leave no room for solutions, I feel, for the goodness to come. So thank you. That's really, really great. And I feel all of us who have kids and younger ones at bay should be able to kind of implement and comply by this, so that we can lighten up their space as well, because I'm sure they don't understand the gravity of the situation, and though they don't have the thoughts of rent bharna hai, electricity bharna hai kind of a thing, but they have their own things to fight with and kind
Not
of
the
cope
life
up.
for them. They miss the outdoors. They miss so
True.
many things.
Yeah.
So they're doing their own sort of coping internally. And I do have some people who will call me every morning and say, oh my God, Bombay numbers have shot up. And then I had to straight away say, listen, I don't need to hear this. Okay. Because I am now sitting in this place trying to guard my own inner life, my own life condition, and that of my kids. That sort of, we mirror each other's life conditions given that we're living in the same environment. And, I have to force my teenage daughter to not watch TV in the evening and walk. We have a garden downstairs to walk on the grass, barefoot, earthing or whatever that's called. I know they find all of this really boring. This is not something that our urban kids have done. I'll sit with her and say, come, let's do pranayam today. This is not something she wants to do every day. I can tell you that. So we don't do it every day. But when I see that she's getting restless, then I make her do that. I yell at my older one in the evening and take her to the terrace where we play hopscotch sometimes to give her some oxygen and fresh air. So I think just trying to keep it organic and taking these small baby steps. God, yesterday being a weekend night, I had to suffer the insufferable. I had to watch some really ridiculous movie what is it called? Never mind, I can't remember the name. The whole series, Sajid Nadiadwala's. My kids love it. Love that. So anyway, I just, for the sake of keeping them company, so they were laughing at these silly toilet jokes and I was laughing along with them. Because humor is really the best medicine right now.
True.
So I'm subjecting myself to all of these things.
True. So it is also calling for sometimes you yourself doing things that you don't really like to do, but doing it so that it uplifts them and keeps them, in this balanced, happy tone of life. That's beautiful. That's great. Shunali, you are
called house.
Okay. Okay, I just thought you didn't remember the name. You saved them a lot of audience who would not be watching.
Houseful, it's a very successful enterprise.
Yeah,
people love it, but I'm not a big buff of commercial cinema, so for me I had to sit and laugh at all those jokes.
But life has so many wonderful ironies that you are married to a person who ran theater chains and you don't love much commercial cinema. So, opposites attract is such a brilliant combination out here. You are one of the influencers, Shunali, in a big way. You do a lot of travel blogging. You write a lot as well, being a writer and an author. With all that is surrounding on our social media, I want to really ask you, where could, as influencers, as people sitting on hot seats and people out here, the common Twitterati and the common Insta, followers out into the world, where do we draw a line? Because I have a lot of clients who have gone into despondency and depression based on the, the facade and the happy things, so called, that they see, the filtered photographs and the absolutely extravagance that is portrayed. Please share your insights on, the truth of the matter, and what we can do in our lives to draw a line somewhere of, what to take in and what to keep away.
I think first thing is basically in being rooted in your own self. It starts with that. Okay. Because I think when you don't really have a strong sense of self, then every Instagram handle that you see where somebody's leading a great life, you will immediately compare it with yours. So if you don't have love in your life, you wistfully look at, Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma and say, oh my God, can I never have that? If you don't have money, you look at people who are going on these great grand holidays. If you're not socially popular, you'll see pictures of these happy, shiny people at parties. So the thing is that nobody really ever has the perfect life they want. Okay. And even the lives that seem perfect are actually imperfect at so many levels that I think if you have the basic understanding that all that I see, there's more to it than meets the eye. Okay. I think that very fundamental knowledge that see, there are two kinds of people who share, right? One is a compulsive sharer who, wants to share every meal he has cooked, every party he's been to, every holiday he's been to. That's one. That's just a person who is now addicted to the dopamine that your post being liked is releasing in your brain. Okay, that's one. The other sharer is who's trying to carve out an image for yourself, okay, for himself or herself. So I think if you already sort of know that these are all different reward systems. One person is trying to become more popular to be an influencer, they're putting the happy face. Another looking for an endorsement. So when you can really look through all of these facades that people are, putting up for you, you won't get influenced or feel insecure or depressed so easily. Having said that, I think it is the children we need to worry about. Because I see that this distorted body image thing that's happening, there's a word for that, right? You will know. What is the word for that?
Body shaming.
No, body something dysmorphia.
Okay.
Where you feel that your body is not perfect.
Not perfect. Okay, got it.
Right. And so I think that I see, because I hang around a lot with teenagers, my younger one's just 12, but my older one's 17. And, via her, I'm exposed to a lot of teenagers in that age group. I think that, people like Kim Kardashian and all are giving people the impression that if your butt isn't that big and your waist to butt ratio isn't a certain thing, then that isn't only something to aspire to, it's something to torment yourself with till you have that. All right. True. So I think that I was saying this to my daughter today. I said the only good thing that might come out of this 2020 is that maybe this will be the death knell of the Kardashian culture. And by that, I mean people who are trying to basically project a very false life and passing on really horrible values into your life. People like Paris Hilton and the Kardashians, and there's a whole lot of other influencers like that who are just conveying one message: be rich at any cost, be famous at any cost, be irresponsible. Kim Kardashian has promoted all sorts of diet pills for teenagers and whatnot and stripping on camera. So I think that firstly, we need to ground ourselves so we can at some stage begin to gently influence our children. We can't take away the gadgets from them, but just to be cautious and aware and keep having conversations with them about that, that right. It's not as good as it's appearing. Trust me, there are other issues. So the other day, my daughter then said, yeah, Mama, actually, you're right. Even Kim Kardashian has some skin problem, skin eczema or something. I said, there you go. She covers it up with paint. So nothing is as perfect as it seems. And this can't be repeated often enough.
True, true. And so very important, the most integral part of this thing that you just said is to have conversations with them. Some parents just shun them off, shut off the gadgets, take them away, hide them. And I think that makes them more rebellious. And having heart to heart conversations and making them feel as entrusted about their lives will really get them to realize this. And then your daughter coming to you and telling you that she also has a problem. I think that's a result of the conversations that possibly you've had over time, and not just shun them off because I'm a mother, listen to me kind of a thing.
Yeah, but
So
I can't say I've had a breakthrough with my older one because she still finds this very impressive. So I think that, when you see the 40 something, then 30 plus people are getting influenced by what they see on social media, you can't blame a teenager.
true.
There's so much exposure from the peer group as well. There's only so much a parent can do. But I think, and this applies as much to older people, to parents, as it does to kids, which is this, that if you have a strong sense of purpose in your life, and if you have a strong sense of self, okay, then you won't get influenced by this because you will have some other passion that drives you. It could be anything. Even it doesn't have to be. It can be aerobics, it can be horse riding, it can be reading, writing, doing charity, working with an NGO, teaching. Each one teach one sort of a thing. Healing, whatever is, you march to your own beat, and as long as you can tune into your beat, you will not care so much for validation and what other people think and what they think of your life. Okay. So my daughter keeps saying, Mama, you really work at being unpopular. You're not very social. I said, I don't work at being unpopular. Okay. It's just that the whole day my phone isn't ringing and buzzing because I like my space. I like to just not constantly be in touch with people. And I said that I also don't live for popularity. So it's not like I'm working at being unpopular. I said, I am very happy being who I am, what I am. And I wasn't always like this. It's a journey. You get to this point.
True, true, true. Tell us one or two things that maybe you put into practice to feel this sense of worth and, sense of self and the sense of purpose, to find what could people do to find their purpose in some little way, kind of a thing. Anything that you tried in life?
For me, it really began in a big way when I turned spiritual and I started asking questions and trying to connect with source. And there are many ways to do that. For me, it started in a big way with, Buddhist chanting, and then I graduated into meditating. So so I think that basically, if you keep your connection with, you may call it source or universe or God or whatever, there are many names for it. I think one is that to keep when you're groping in the dark, the first thing that will sort out everything else is this connection. So if you meditate and go into a quiet place, I am a very frisky person. So for me to sit and meditate is a really tremendous challenge. So what I do is that even today, after so many years, I break it up. And then I try different things. So you may think that, you're listening to, like I like listening to Krishna Das, okay? Or Niranjan Kaur, okay? Or Snadam Kaur.
Yeah.
Right? So now there are days when I'm in this mood to just sit and play their chants or their bhajans, and I feel still, okay? And there are days when I think, no, I need to actually just go quiet and meditate. And there are days when I do mantra chanting, okay? So for me, the thing is, I get bored of the same thing. So I have to keep
reinventing
a little bit and do something every day. So Monday this, Tuesday this, Wednesday this, okay? So I think first is that, to feel that. Then, of course, through that, you create self-love or whatever. There is enough there. The Insight Timer is a pretty decent app.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So for beginners, there's enough on that for positivity, motivation, self-love, healing, da-da-da-da-da. So the thing is, very early on in my life, I started treating myself like a project. That, this is like a Lego, and I have to pull its parts out and figure out why it does what it does, okay? And how to smooth the edges. So it's still work in progress. I'm not saying I haven't gotten too far with it. But I think the first thing we need to sort out is that connection. Whatever it takes you to do it. And I think after that, when you spend, life moves inward out and not outward in. right? So I think if you spend more time with yourself and in silence, you will realize what is it that works for you and what is your calling. It's as simple as that.
Beautiful, beautiful, so true. And another very, very important point out here, people work from inward to outward and not outward to inward. Most of us have, lived lives in this misconception: because this happened, I became like this. But that is not true. We have something going on already inside, by which we are either responding and reacting to life, and thereby the life is reflecting a certain mirror image of what is going out from us. So brilliantly, as Shunali said, please understand this fundamental core aspect, that we need to work from the inside to the outside and not the other way around. Thank you, Shunali. That was really great. And whoever told you in your mind chatter that you weren't wise? All right. So going ahead, Shunali, you have this amazing, fascinating latest book, which I still have to get my complete hands on. But I have been reading these little excerpts and things that have been there online. Love in the Times of Affluenza. My God. Okay. So, we all deal with these life dilemmas, especially with our relationships, because I believe our karmic exchange and our nullification and soul's growth lies in the inner circle. So all the pandemonium, all the, turbulence, everything lies in this inner circle the most. What do you think are the biggest lessons from your book that we can learn to create a balanced, life and fruitful relationships? Because again, as you said, with this whole facade that is there outside, we are leading lives somewhere where we don't know ourselves, or either we are living too much for other people and thereby don't have the identity of who am I, kind of a thing. So just give us a little insight into this book and the lessons it could teach us as a
So,
common person.
I think that when I was writing, I wasn't really writing for lessons. Uh, so I will digress a bit and say this first,
Sure.
that, for about 8-10 years, I was very, very seriously practicing Buddhism, which is where I first learned the concept oneness of life and environment, that what you are is the world you get outside. And I think that is what 10 years ago when my search started, I got back to writing. I'd given up journalism a while back because I felt that inner motivation. So firstly, when you spend time with yourself and do spiritual practice, you can tap into what you want. Okay, now you figure that you have some sort of a talent. Now, either you can, go to town and write some trash with it because it'll entertain people, or you can write a very serious, responsible book with it. So I didn't start with a book which was going to convey a message, and I didn't want to just write some sort of a book that would somehow get me moderate success. I think there was something I used to observe in society that used to bother me, which was this, that even in a world of privilege, patriarchy rules, okay, women are still living by the rules made by men. And men can get away with a lot, but a woman can't. So that was the premise of the fine little thread that, I was, okay, this is what I want to tackle. And then the hypocrisy of marriage and what it appears to be and what it often is not. So my book is inherently a social satire, which then looks at the world from this woman protagonist's point of view. And ultimately, if in one line, if I must say that the message, then actually that message is this, that your sense of self and fulfillment will not come from a boyfriend, a husband, your children, your social circle of friends, or your fame on social media. It will all ultimately only come from your own sense of achievement and sense of purpose, which is what we exactly just spoke about. So my protagonist tries meditation, tries listening to Deepak Chopra, tries attending some art of living courses, and she's just feeling so unfulfilled and shaken up from within. And she's really worried about her own marriage because she's caught her best friend having an adulterous affair, and she starts to compare. She starts to think that if she's having an affair because she says she was unhappy in a marriage, maybe they appeared happy, and maybe I think I'm happy, but actually I'm not. She begins to question her own life and her purpose in a marriage. So I think that is really the overall theme, because nobody but you can make yourself happy.
True. So beautiful. I think this is a brilliant message, because I think 90% of our lives, honestly, is, there's a difference between being okay, I'm surviving, and being happy. And often this line is blurred and we think that we are happy, but actually we are not, because we've not tapped into the true happiness which lies as an onus upon our own self. Because everything is, so as you said, is attached to someone else. The boyfriend is making me happy, the husband is making me happy, the likes on the social media is
Yeah.
making me happy. So there are so many different things but me, myself, kind of a thing. So that's a very, very beautiful message, Shunali. And I think satire often has far deep lessons. Like yesterday with Nandita, we were talking about Jane Bhi Do Yaro, and the kind of lessons that movie has, actually, if we go to see, is just amazing. And I'm sure that when I read your book, I will kind of skew out more lessons out of them, and it will not just be happy read kind of a thing. And I feel that there would be some very, very deep lessons out there. So thank you for writing this book, and I'm sure that it may help many, many women out there to really realize what they are living for and what is the source of happiness that they truly need to tap into. So lovely. So where
Well,
do you draw?
that is
Yeah,
not
sorry.
a easy book. I think the whole book is a light book. I write to entertain myself sometimes. so, so it may sound like a preachy book. It's not preachy, actually.
No, I'm not talking in preaching. That's what I'm saying. That when we read lightness also, but when we are awareness, when our consciousness is high, when our awareness is high, then we will extract lessons from the
Correct.
simplest and the funniest of the things.
Correct.
You know. So that's what I meant, and I'm sure that those who have to take it from it will take that out from your book
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
you're right.
Yeah. So where do you draw your inspiration from, Shunali?
As a writer, I think that there's a world of brilliant writers who, left behind so much work and who have such a strong work ethic that in their lifetime they've produced just so many books that, you know, for me, there's just it's endless. The inspiration is endless. I think what I lack is that self-discipline to go beyond feeling inspired and having a work ethic to sit and write every day and, just do that. So, yeah, I'm pretty self-motivated in terms of being inspired.
Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work on that thing now during the lockdown. I think I've been able to address that. This thing of being able to sit and write at least 5 days a week. Earlier, I would go weeks without writing.
Great. So, out of everything during this lockdown that you've been doing, what is something new that you've rediscovered about yourself? Something that gave you an aha moment? Oh, I never did this before, or this is something new that has emerged during this time. Is there anything like that?
I think basically I've spent a couple of years not working out at all. I'm inherently not somebody who likes to trouble my body too much. Okay. And I've become pretty punctual and diligent with, in the evenings I do my workout. And I'm quite surprised because I told you in my life, the running theme of my life is inconsistent. Okay. So I've become consistent with my exercise in the evening. Twice a week or 3 times a week, I do yoga. So I'm happy to see that now that everything is in one little tiny universe of mine, this little microcosm of mine. I don't have to worry. The kids have been brought back from school. There's this one to go to, this meeting, this dinner, this whatever. Since all my time is entirely mine, I might as well utilize it to, just do something that I haven't done, because I'm the sort of person who needs a trainer to show up at her house to get her to, physically work out. And now I'm doing with YouTube, not even a Zoom class. So I would say that is really my biggest achievement.
Awesome.
And the other thing is, I had an inability to sit still and watch a lot of cinema. And my dad used to love Satyajit Ray and Wonka Wong movies. And I have his own private collection with me, in fact. And I used to say, one day when I'm old and retired and I'm not so restless, I'll watch it. But oh my God, I have really enjoyed watching them. So much so that I've hardly watched anything on Netflix now. So I've been able to sit still through a movie. That's something.
Wow, wow, that's quite something. And I'm sure that, all of these things that we may feel they are so small and so little or so trivial, I'm sure they are not, because for each one of us, all of these things are like big milestones, because there's something that we've really not done for very long or never done in our life. And that has opened up during this time. So I think, come what may, some people even unconsciously are going inwards. Some
Yeah.
are consciously moving inwards and doing things, but I think many people are even unconsciously being pushed inwards and realizing something that they never knew, kind of.
Yeah, I think we have so much time to reflect now that we really have been pushed into that corner where you're now facing this wall and just thinking, right? I think I was doing it fairly actively because like I told you that I'm a sort of over the years I realized that I was a person who just liked my own company and my own time so much that I did plenty of that already. But now I just guess I have more. I don't have to schedule it now. It can go on through the day.
Lovely, lovely. So besides your yoga and all, what do you do in your daily life, or earlier rather? Right now may not be because you're not interacting with many people, but how does Shonali calm herself when agitated or when angry or when something is not in your control, or when you are wanting somebody to change for the positive or better and the person just doesn't seem to understand any kind of such situations? How do you tackle them in your life?
So since I live with a teenager who knows how to press all the wrong buttons, it's a daily battle sometimes. Okay, uh, and one thing I did become mindful of now, in fact, is that I stay calm. I'm by and large a cheerful person. Sometimes I work towards it, right? Like there are days when you just don't wake up feeling really as happy as you felt yesterday, or you're worried or agitated. Um, so, like I told you, for me, then I really have to just do my pranayam and then try and sit still and calm myself down, or listen to something on Inside Timer and work on that. Uh, and my whole life, I made fun of Deepak Chopra, by the way. Okay, to the extent that in my book there was a character that was like a spoof on him, and then fortunately, they say that really don't be in a hurry to judge people and write them off. And I should say, he keeps talking about all these profound words, right? About all sorts of twisted words about the human consciousness and the human mind and cosmos and everything. It's almost like a mini lesson in physics that you don't understand. And I used to laugh at him, okay? And then this writer friend of mine I know about 2 years ago introduced me to some of his meditation that I used to play while walking. Okay. And I said, some of the stuff he says, some of the stuff, you can say the guy is a write-off or whatever, that's your personal opinion of him. But some of the techniques that he's teaching you, okay, to sort of reprogram your brain, those are not bad. I mean, nobody needs to really worship a person who's sort of opened a workshop for the mind. Okay. So you don't have to go by every word they say. So sometimes I'm even in the mood for that. So while walking on my podcast app on my iPhone, I will listen to Soul Sunday or something like that. So those are the things I do. And one thing I decided to do was that even though I'm by and large calm, when I blow my fuse, I really blow it, okay? And then I can be really angry. So I realized that I need to work on my anger. And so that was nice because now I have some work to do, some inner work. When you have this thing to work towards, then it's very exciting because you're going to now go after it and try and change it. Right. So, so then when I'm angry, I do one of these sort of things, or then I read a book and that calms me down. I have all the patience to read somehow, which I don't have to sit in front of a screen. I have to read. So then I do that, and then I'm okay.
No wonder your purpose is to be an author and write and spread it out. So it is like, having a marketing person who is marketing tea in the whole world but never drinks tea ever. So, yeah. So that's beautiful. You mentioned about the kids. I would love to know, because there are many parents who I know, there are many clients, there are many friends who are really kind of grappling with this force staying together. Because irrespective of our lives, earlier we were not forced staying, 24/7, seeing each other in the face all the time. So what are the things that you feel as a parent you caution yourself not to do, or be an OTT kind of a thing at times and retract or change the ways, which you said that you do things which you don't like but you do it for them. So any such things which can help parents deal with their kids in a little better, in a more loving way, calmer way.
So, I mean, normally what happens is that kids had online school for some time, right? And then they were both in their respective rooms and I was in mine doing my reading or whatever. My nirvana practice, as I call it. Sometimes I think I'm meditating, but I want to interrupt. Okay? I get a tweet and I'm looking at the tweet and there's a meditation thing going on. So Sitaram is going on. Anyway, so
that's a new level of multitasking. Great enough.
No, that's what I said, pretend nirvana. Okay.
Awesome.
So what happens is that I realize that some of the battles I'll have to pick my battles, of course. My greatest problem is that it's easier to say yes, it's harder to say no, right? So if you're imposing a certain discipline at home, it's easier to let the kids just be than to assert yourself and say, no, this won't be done, okay? So my kids during the lockdown picked up this habit of watching TV while eating. And though my husband has a strict rule that nobody will watch TV and eat at home, but the minute he leaves his door, he's not even left the building gate, and the kids and I used to do it too. We'd be sitting and watching TV. And then I made this rule that all meals have to be taken together on the table, okay? And even if it's not together, because some child has had a lunch or breakfast late, that's fine, then you don't do it together, but you will sit on the table and eat. Even if you're bored, eat by yourself, but there'll be no TV, no laptop, nothing in front of you, no phone, okay? So that led to a certain amount of friction in my house. My younger one obeyed, but the older one was like, what is this? So I think that I realized that I will now tell them that I will not nag you. There are 2-3 things I want from you. If you can give me that, we can live very happily and peacefully. So I also have to keep checking myself from being a nag. But one is, you will go and get some fresh air every day and a little bit of exercise. You will get sunlight at least 4 times a week. Wake up in the morning and go out, or go out in the setting sun. And, you will spend some time without your gadgets. Okay? Just do this, then I don't have to keep chasing you. And I've really seen that first I was chasing them for everything and it wasn't working. And since I've sort of put this in place, things are much better.
Beautiful. So as we were talking earlier also, that this is exactly what you did, was share the responsibility of their own lives with them as well and throw the ball in their court. Correct. So that you help them to become more responsible, human beings than just keep having them or expecting them to do what you are trying to get.
Because we don't know how long this will go on for. The first 10-20 days, we were all relaxed about it because we thought, the curve will flatten in a month's time. But surely at some point, this will begin to affect every child's mental health.
True.
And if a child is going to sit in a room the entire day and be on a phone and then come and watch the TV all day long and junk or all sorts of food all day long, what is it going to do that to the child's mind? They'll get anxious, they'll get cranky, they'll fight with each other. It'll just get really unhealthy. So I just thought maybe I'll try and do positive reinforcement now.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's really, really great. And I hope our lovely audience out there, parents, grandparents, all those who are listening to this, maybe we could look around and see if any kind of restructuring is required from our end so that we can make the space more peaceful, harmonious, happy and calm for all put together, because I feel, as you said, that they are dealing with their own things. Each one is trying to deal with their own set of things that's running in our minds and hearts, our worries, or, points of friction, and a little bit of compassion and understanding the other side, that even if we don't know what's running in their minds, something is running there, and to just kind of slow down from what we want to, pressure them with. That's
You
beautiful,
mentioned
Shunali.
grandparents. I've also given them this responsibility that they have to keep in touch with their grandparents. Call them, because usually what happens is the grandparent calls the child, right? So they're doing that. They'll call the grandparents, or my in-laws live in the same building, go and see them. So first it was not happening electively because they were just so wrapped up in their own little worlds. But I think now it's time to now start living like this is, for the time being, the new normal. It is, right? So now we need to be responsible, be in touch with people, stay connected, because I think our senior members of society right now, who are the most vulnerable, who are sitting at home, not being able
Right.
to even go to the park for a walk or for a swim. So they are also battling with their own kind of
True.
fears right now. And there's really nothing like the power of love and communication, right? So
Very true. Very true. We must, as you know, right from the beginning, when this word social distancing came in the live sessions that we started on 18th of March, I kept on reinforcing that, please, people, it's not social distancing, it's physical distancing. In fact, be more social right now in this time of keeping in touch with people, calling up people, messaging people, seeing and checking on how they're doing. It could be friends of your parents, if somebody is alone or needs help. So I think that it is important that we create the social fabric of being there and letting just people know that you are there at the other end, if at all, need be, kind of a thing, and just to share some love. Thank you so much. That's great, Shunali. So now we move on with our finishing part of the session, moving into our angel soul guidance for the day. So, Shunali, every day we give a universal message to our lovely participants out there, whereby I ask our wonderful guests to think of a number between 1 to 365. So, give me two numbers, and I shall read out that day number from the book Angels Speak. And whoever resonates with that message is for you from the heavens above. So, just close your eyes and just feel the first number that comes to your heart. No lucky number or anything. Just
211.
211. Okay. And every day, Shunali, uncannily enough and beautifully enough, things that we have spoken in the session and that we have discussed has blatantly come up as a message when we have read the messages. So here is 211, everyone. When you give an honest look at your present day, know that you are empowered with the power to address all concerns fearlessly. Doubts emerge from an insecure or hurt spirit. Rearrange some parts of your life and bring the very change you desire. Look into your own eyes fearlessly. Know that you have the power to discern, change, heal, and transform your life. Isn't that amazing? Wow, I'm getting goose flesh. So utilize this time, everyone, and let us move into what more can I do about my own self? What more can I rearrange, reinvent, reignite, realign in my life so that I can be a better and better version each day? So what's the next number, Shunali?
22, since we are 2020.
All right.
Or 202, actually. Either you can choose.
No, you tell me what is coming to your heart. What is divinity giving you right now?
I don't know. Just do 202 then.
202. All right. So let's see. 202. Okay. We spoke about this as well. Move away from extending pity to yourself or others, as that reinforces suffering and it asserts itself. Instead, extend love and compassion, and you shall end the suffering right where it begins, in its energetic space. Step forward and light the candle of hope. It is from here that the work to eliminate suffering in your tangible world begins. Program your subconscious mind with loving messages. Move away from all the sympathy energies and replace them with compassion and courage to move forward with love.
This is uncanny, because when I told you that the thing that I was listening to of Deepak Chopra's was about reprogramming the mind.
Beautiful,
Exactly.
beautiful, beautiful. And so much so that extending love and compassion rather than drowning in sympathy, whining, complaining is going to change the energetic, fabric of the molecules of the energy of what we are asserting constantly. So please, everyone, there are concerns, there are things, but let us consciously move away from any kind of sympathy, any kind of projections of fear. Do our level best to take care of the earthly actions that we need to do, precautions that we need to take, and so on, but minus the fear and worry. So beautiful. Thanks, Shunali. Now let's move on to our most beautiful part of, or more and more beautiful part of our collective chanting together. So today we will be chanting after the Nam Jap of 28 times Meher Baba's name. We'll be doing this very, very soulful and powerful healing chant, which incessantly builds up healing energies in our mental, physical, and subtle planes of consciousness. The chant for today is.
So before you chant, should I just mute my side?
Yes, I will be putting on the music, and then we'll chant.
Video and mute me so that I can enjoy it in solitude.
Yes, your video will be there. I will be muting the audio. Okay, so everyone get
off the video also.
No, I would not want a blank screen. So you be there, you can close your eyes and you could, just soak into the lovely chant. So today's chant, everyone, is Ramadasa Sa Se So Hum. So close your eyes, everyone, as we start to begin our chant. Loosen up your bodies. Relax your mind. Any constriction, any blockage, stiffness that you feel, just move your body slightly, your neck. Take a few deep breaths. Take your focus to your heart center in the center of your chest area. It is a very powerful point to focus when you want to meditate. You may imagine, see, feel, or intend the image of the highest power that you believe in, or just a spark of light, or whatever that you envision as a higher being. Allow it to emerge. Calm yourself completely. Do some deep breathing and allow your body to slow down. We will first do the Nam Jap 28 times. And today the chant, instead of 9 times, will be for 10 times, the number of completion. We intend that with the chant, we send out our collective vibrations into the world to complete the work of this seeming virus, to end soon, to help us learn our lessons while we heal ourselves, reform and reprogram our lives for the highest benefit of ourselves and the world. With love, light, wisdom, healing, compassion, kindness, protection, and shielding to move out into the entire world, to all of humanity and creation. We begin the Nam Jap. Meher Baba, 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 Meher Baba. Take a deep breath as we begin the chant. Feel the intention of creating these healing vibrations within and around you. Feel the vibrations that you've created around you and within you. Allow these healing vibrations to permeate further into your system. Allow them to be stored, imbibed, deep within your consciousness. Take 3 deep breaths now. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. At the count of 10, very slowly, open your eyes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very slowly open your eyes and be contained in this feeling of the healing vibrations. I hope you all had a beautiful experience, just as I did.
Like a light bulb.
Shunali, could you repeat because it was on mute?
I said you are glowing like a light bulb.
Thank you so much. God's grace, Baba's grace. I'm grateful for everything. Thank you really, really so much, Shunali, for this amazing, amazing session. And please, I would like you to affirm to stop saying from today that you are not wise.
Okay.
And definitely there was so much of intricate learning. As we say, it did not be spelled out all the time, and we need to see between the lines, we need to listen between the lines. So I think there is so much that we have learned from the way you have dealt with things, and I'm sure that our lovely participants out there can take something very, very lovely, powerful and incredible from all that you've shared today. And all those who read your book can do so as well. So thank you very much for being with us, Shunali. Lots of love to you, big, big hugs. And we have our pending meeting, over pending. So after the lockdown, see you soon.
See you
And
soon.
big Jai Baba to you, my darling. And lots of love.
Thank you.
Lots of love. Thank you so much for a wonderful evening with us and on our very special 21st day, which is the last day of season 1 of Wellbeing Wisdom series. Thank you so much.
For the next season as well.
Thank you. Please pray we have one soon.
I'm sure you will.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you.
Thank you.
So I hope you all enjoyed just the way I did and Shunali did this beautiful, beautiful session with all of you out here. Please write in the comments your insights, share your love. Please click the emojis of the hearts and the likes and the cares in the comments so that we can spread more and more love, more and more gratitude to all these awesome souls who have been coming and sharing their lives with all of you, with me, and sparing this valuable time out of their family life to be with us each and every day. So thank you once again, all you wonderful souls out there. And yes, I am not really sad that it is our last day. As I said in the post yesterday, I'm happy that this happened, and I'm so grateful because it's not just the 21st day of our Well-Being Wisdom series, but it is the 60th day of our live sessions. And once again, I want to repeat that hats off to each of you. I'm like going off now. It's truly fascinating, incredible, and diligent of you to be with me through 60 sessions, and it's more than 70 hours of togetherness that we have spent from 18th of March right up to 30th of May. And that is quite a feat, let me tell you, people, because our attention spans, our diligence is very, very less in life. And if you have disciplined yourself to be together each and every day, that we have spent time on growing together, learning together, sharing together, it is truly, truly, truly marvelous and truly unimaginably incredible. So thank you so much for being with me. Please share all the videos. All our 60 sessions are in 3 playlists on our page. Please go through the playlist, play the sessions again and again, and empower your life, enrich your life and that of others by sharing it with one and all. And I really, really hope that we can spread this wisdom, this love, this compassion, this kindness, this empowerment with many, many souls across the globe, and may it touch millions and billions of lives. So, hope to see you all soon once again with season 2 of Wellbeing Wisdom series, or any one of videos in between as and when I'm guided. Write in the comments what you would like me to share. What are the topics you would like me to cover? What is it that you want to know more about in life? And I shall try my level best, Baba willing, to incorporate that in the videos, in the sessions, in the forthcoming time. Tomorrow, though, on 31st May at 6 p.m., I'm going to see you with our monthly angel soul guidance for the zodiac signs for June 2020. So be with me to see and hear what the heavens and the universe want to tell you for June 2020, along with the positive energy color of the day. So see you all tomorrow, 6 p.m. Invite your friends, loved ones, all who you can, so that we can all, benefit from the heavenly guidance, and we can all do with this little more of, angelic guidance in our lives, so that we can maneuver our lives a little more better through these challenging times. So love you all. A big Jai Baba to you all. A very, very big namaste to all of you. Stay blessed, loved, and protected in love and light, and super duper Godspeed. Love you all. Stay blessed and safe. Love you. Thank you so much for being there. We have our Meher Baba online satsang on Zoom right now at 8 p.m. I'm going to put the link, the meeting link in the comments after the, logging out. So please do join us if you wish to. Lots of love. Jai Baba.